Hello, hello, hello. What's happening, everybody? MCOC Droid does back again for another video on Marvel Contest of Champions. And today I'm doing a little bit of a, I don't want to go all out and say rant, but I will say definitely a disappointment and disappointment in Kabam. And not just for some of the normal stuff or some of the everyday stuff, but with an issue that some of us had that wasn't too widespread. It didn't affect a lot of alliances, but for those that did, I feel like we weren't really treated all that fairly, and I'm going to explain why. So, if you follow my channel, you know that I do AQ crystal openings every couple weeks or so. Ever since Season 5 started, I started opening up the Map 5 and Map 6 crystals. Again, it's every about 16 days or so. So basically every 2 full AQ series, I'll go ahead and open them up because it's usually, you know, between 45 and 50 or so of the Map 5 crystals and about a dozen or so Map 6 crystals. And then I also just use it as a chance to talk about potential rank ups or rank ups that I just did or what have you. And just go over my stash and things like that. Well, if you watched the video that I put out on Friday, the latest installment also talked about some issues that we had a couple of weeks ago now. It was 2 series ago. I won't go into all of the details because I talked about it there. There's a forum post which will be in the description below. And thankfully, Rich the Man, who does his MCOC news every single day, most days, in addition to a lot of other really great content, was super kind enough to showcase it for us as well. So basically what happened was 2 AQ series ago on day 1, we started at normal time, which is 12 p.m. Pacific, literally right as AQ goes live, we start day 1. So we did it as normal. About 6 hours in, so about 6 p.m. in the evening, it just stopped. It basically just stopped. It went away. It reset itself essentially. And it had us trying to, or it basically was set back up as if AQ was never started, as if we need to start a brand new day of AQ. Mind you, the resources were gone at that point, you know, the battle chips, the gold, and loyalty. We didn't get any of our points. We had already, you know, used up our time and what have you. So no points, no rewards, nothing in our inbox. Resources were gone, and that was it. It just sort of ended on its own. And so again, this is a Friday night. Weren't really expecting a lot of response. I quickly put something up on the forums. I got some responses, but pretty much like, hey, we're looking into this. We'll let you know, etc., etc. And long story short, they still never really told us what happened, but they were like, yeah, so unfortunately this happened. There didn't seem to be a lot of alliances, but it happened. So it's up to you whether you want to run your AQ as normal, knowing that you're going to be a day behind, or if you want to take a break or what have you. But for that first day, I don't think I have it set up here. For that, this is kind of a follow-up, but for that first day that we missed out, essentially, we will be refunded treasury costs and we will get AQ map crystals. Okay. What about everything else? I mean, yes, we get our resources back, but there are a lot of things that we miss by not doing a full day of AQ. We are a, you know, not a super high prestige alliance, but we're still pretty solid. We run 5x5 for all 5 days, obviously, in all 3 groups. And so I had put it here kind of shortly after that series ended, you know, so after day 5 was over. As you can see right there, you know, we typically land in the top 7 to 800 at the absolute lowest. So usually in the, you know, high 700s, mid 700s. We usually get about 140 million points or so, you know, plus or minus. Obviously, real life things happen sometimes. But we're typically right around 140 to 145 million points. This time we scored just over 111 million and we ranked 1,601. And again, we lost all of day 1 and day 2 started basically late once we realized, like, all right, well, I guess it's fixed. We'll just give it a shot and hope it doesn't break again. And so I kind of laid it out, so I'm not going to go through all of it, but you know, it's a fair amount of rewards per person that we're all missing out on. So again, we typically rank around here, 501 to 800. So 1300 glory, we get the tier 2 alpha frags, along with the glory crystals, a full tier 4B. This time, well, that time, we ranked down in here. And this past AQ series, you know, we had some struggles with a couple of real life things, somebody quitting in the middle and what have you. But obviously this is out of our normal as well. We don't typically land this far, but it's actually kind of good that we did. You can see, like, these are the rewards that we got compared to what we normally get. Okay. And then last time as well, we did better this time in terms of peak milestones than we did on that first series. But that first series, again, we only got just over 110 million. So we were down a few milestones. It's harder to see here because AQ is not on right now. It starts tomorrow as of the recording of this video. But I believe we were at this one right here, the milestone number 24. So again, everybody missed out on even more glory and more map 6 crystals, 3 of them to be exact, in addition to, you know, not getting as much glory here, not getting the tier 2 alpha frags here. Let's see, what's the difference? 4 and 1 of the greater glory and the glory crystals. So we got 3 and 1. So that's, you know, a greater glory crystal we did not get. In addition to a lot of the other day-by-day stuff. So we didn't get the day 1 rewards. So like yes, we got our resources back, but we didn't get our individual battle chips that we get, which is usually 6,675. We didn't get our gold. We didn't get our tier 4 basic frags, our tier 4 CC frag crystals. For the 5-day Alliance quest completion, we couldn't get to the 7,000, so we didn't get our 200 5-star shards. Like I said, I think I kind of summed it all up fairly well right here. Oh, no, sorry, wrong one. I apologize. This one right here. So we all missed out on 400 glory, 200 5-star shards, 1,000 tier 2 alpha frags. I didn't even think about, you know, every day there's the solo alliance event, you know, the 24-hour event. So we didn't get a 10% champion boost. We didn't get a 20% champion boost, and the other rewards that come from that. And just like so many different things that we did not get. And what I'm building to is we finally got something today, which is the 21st. If you see on your screen right now, I've intentionally kept this up here because up until today, we last heard from them on the 17th, as you can see right there, that they are still working on this, and we plan on refunding treasury costs and awarding map crystals for those affected alliances. Okay. That was almost 5 days ago. And again, you know, that was a full AQ series ago. This was not this past, this was 2 weeks ago this happened, literally, as of the recording of this video. It was on the 7th that it occurred. So it took them 2 weeks to get through this. And, you know, I kept up with the forum post. I was trying to keep it, you know, professional and straightforward, you know, not attacking or anything, but just matter of fact, like, you know, do we know what happened? Is it going to happen again? When are we going to get compensated, et cetera, et cetera. So we did finally get the compensation today. And lo and behold, it's 5 map 6 crystals, 3 of which we would have already gotten just from peak milestones. So, to recap here, due to an issue regarding alliance quests, some alliances were incorrectly removed from their active quest. We apologize, etc., etc. Compensation to this message in the form of 5 map 6 crystals. Additionally, any resources spent for the battle groups affected by this issue have been refunded to your alliance treasury, which they were. We did get the refund in the treasury. And I don't know why there's this problem connected to the network. It's really getting in the way of the message that I'm trying to show off. Go away. Go away. But my point is, we got 5 map 6 crystals. Hopefully you saw it before the dang network connection thing popped up. So I apologize for that. But yes, so we got 5 map 6 crystals. I would argue no matter, and I'm about to open these in this video. I'm not going to cut away. I would argue that unless I pull a fully formed tier 2 alpha, which of course I'm not going to, the odds on that are so incredibly low. Hey, there we go. So yes, there are the 5 map 6 crystals. Unless I pull a fully formed tier 2 alpha, I honestly don't think it's the equivalent of everything that we lost for missing out on one day. Because you may think, well, you only missed out on day 1, but it doesn't work that way. Because then for everybody else, their day 2 became our day 1. So we technically missed out on points that was on day 5 because we never got to a day 5. So we, like I said, we missed out on about 30 million points. So that was, 3 more peak milestones, much higher rank rewards, the daily individual rewards. Like there's just a lot of different stuff that we missed out on, a lot of small things and then not so small things. And I was really hoping that Kabam would change their minds and actually, even if they couldn't do it, dollar for dollar, so to speak, if they couldn't literally give us every specific thing, to do something more than 5 map crystals. Like I said, 3 of them alone we get from the peak milestone that we missed out on. So essentially it's saying that 2 map crystals are to make up for 200 5-star shards, the missing glory, the missing tier 2 alpha frags, the missing tier 4 basic frags, the missing individual battle chips, gold, tier 4 CC crystals, the greater glory crystal, etc., etc. And it doesn't matter if I personally need the greater glory crystals, the regular glory crystals, things like that. It does not matter if I need it or not. It's just the equivalent. The value of all of the things that we lost does not add up to 5 map 6 crystals. And like I said, I know this didn't affect a lot of people, a lot of alliances. Heck, I'm probably the biggest YouTuber whose alliance it did affect. And of course, I'm not that big, obviously, compared to a lot of the others out there. And that's no criticism of myself. That's no criticism of any of the YouTubers. It has nothing to do with that. It's just the point that I'm probably the biggest voice talking about this. And it's, it's admittedly to myself, it's not that big of a voice. So I just, I'm upset. I know it didn't affect a lot of alliances, but I was really hoping, even if Kabam didn't go above and beyond for the fact that this took 2 full weeks to be compensated for, that they would at least have found some sort of middle ground between just map 6 crystals and all of the other stuff that we missed out on, which honestly, me personally, I would have preferred all that other stuff more. So I am very disappointed, and I will claim these, and I will go ahead and spin these out and show what we missed out on, or what we got for what we missed out on, I should say. So I'm scrolling down. Here we go. These are the 5, because like I said, literally yesterday, I just recorded the latest opening. So I'm just going to quickly, I'll spin out one. If you watch my series, I always like to spin out 1 map 5 crystal and 1 map 6 crystal. Just for luck, I don't know, just to warm them up or something, because as you see, there's no reel there, unfortunately. That was actually a good crystal because it was 3,100 tier 2 alpha frags, which was amazing. I assume these are these newer map 6 crystals that just went live last week when the new series started. But let me go ahead and smash open these last 4. Looks like I got another 3,000 or so frags total from the last 4 crystals. You saw I formed a cosmic catalyst, got just under 6,000 basic frags, and then a little bit of whatchamacallit, a little bit of skill frags. But yeah, so essentially, and maybe I'll try and do a screenshot after the fact before it forms this cosmic catalyst. And that'll probably end up being the thumbnail for this video. But yeah, again, I don't know. I don't really know if it was worth it. After I record this, I'm going to do some math and run some numbers and try and figure out all the stuff that we missed versus what I just got right here from these 5 crystals and figure out if it's equivalent at all. I feel like they could have done more. Even if those crystals had been amazing, they still could have done more because that's all RNG based. Versus the other materials are very specific. The glory is very specific. That goes towards potions or that goes towards other frags or what have you. Obviously the battle chips, the gold, that's very specific. There's no RNG chance. That's just straight up. That's a reward. So, like I said, I gotta say I'm pretty disappointed in Kabam. I was really hoping that they would find some middle ground. They said a while back that it was going to be treasury refunds and map crystals, and I was hoping they would change their mind. And in these last couple weeks, obviously they haven't. So, minus points for Kabam on this one. I must say I am definitely disappointed and underwhelmed with the amount of compensation that we got. compared to the amount of time it took for us to get that. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Again, I got to give a big shout out to Rich the Man for covering this. He actually covered this on his news just because this took so long to get resolved. He covered this on his news not once, but twice. So I know I just gave you a shout out yesterday in the crystal opening vid, Rich, but I got to give you another shout out. Thank you again for chatting with me. For shining a light on this, because again, you know, so many more are going to see it coming from you than they will coming from me. So thank you for that. I really, really, really do appreciate it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below about the compensation or lack thereof, in my opinion. And again, if you happen to be one of the alliances that were affected by this, I would very much like to hear from you, just because I know that there weren't that many of us. So, yes, thank you for watching. If you're not already a subscriber, feel free to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get notified whenever I go live or new content gets added to the channel. Aside from that, thanks for watching and letting me ramble on and rant a bit about Kabam, because I'm definitely disappointed. But yes, thank you for that. Take care, and I will see you next time.